Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And also, please like, subscribe, and share. So I really appreciate your support. We hit 9,000 views the other day, so that was nice. And it's all due to you. You guys are the best. So a lot of comments this week. Thank you for that too. And today we're going to talk all about Africa. Not all about Africa, but all about Africa and AI, because things are starting to boom in Africa. So about 15 years ago, I told some of my nieces and nephews that Africa was the last boom place on the planet. And the reason I said that is because Africa is still the last remaining low-cost manufacturing hub to come. And there's a lot of issues for companies trying to move into Africa. There's political unrest. Of course, there's COVID now, which hopefully will be gone by this time next year. But in addition to that, in some places in Africa, there's limited infrastructure, meaning limited roads, limited phones, limited internet access. The internet access is about to be fixed, right? Because SpaceX is launching their system, OneWeb is launching their system, and there's others in the pipeline. So very fast, very affordable internet access is going to be available very, very shortly, which means that another billion people who are not online now will be coming online. 1 billion people. So this is huge, and it's principally Africa. So what about Africa and AI? Well, one of the publications I read is called Angel List. And the reason I read it is because they talk about hot new companies attracting VC capital. And lately there have been some articles from Angel List about Africa because some big stuff has happened there starting in 2019. For one, a South African startup sold for $500 million, virtually the largest in history of the African continent. And this year, a Fintech startup, meaning financial technology, and I'll explain that in a sec, but just sold for $200 million in Nigeria. So the two huge tech centers developing in Africa are Nigeria and Kenya. And one of the problems with doing tech startups in Africa has been a lack of adequate programmers, not enough people knowing how to do programming. Well, Microsoft is investing $100 million to train local folks in Nigeria and Kenya how to do coding. So what does that mean? Well, that means that a lot of coding is moving to Africa because it's going to be cheaper. But that said, there's going to be huge opportunities there. If you're the adventurous type, you might want to move to Africa in the next 5 years, because as that economy explodes, there's going to be tremendous business opportunity over there. And I would dare say, especially for my African American followers, this is a chance to make your mark. But in terms of AI, we talked in one of my farming videos about a startup in South Africa that is using AI to analyze images from satellites, drones, and on-the-ground reports, and give farmers feedback in real time about their crop status. And this is obviously happening in a lot of places in the world, but the one in South Africa was one of the first in Africa, and that just happened in 2018. and I think I told you about it earlier this year. But also in terms of AI, FinTech, financial technology. So one of the groups that was in Africa very early on to help Africans with banking, which was non-existent in rural areas, is called FINCA, F-I-N-C-A. And I've been supporting FINCA for many years now, but FINCA does what's called microloans. And these loans allow entrepreneurs, principally women in Africa, to start businesses, some of which have grown significantly and become very successful. So, and most of which have grown enough to support the woman's family. So this is huge, but FinTech specifically is AI-driven financial products like banking, savings accounts, checking accounts, borrowing money, lending money, wiring money, sending payments, stuff like that. So FinTech is starting to boom in Africa, and it's largely going to be AI-driven. And the terrific thing about Africa is because they don't have the infrastructure, because they're behind on roads and telecommunications, which is phone systems, data systems, stuff like that, they're going to leapfrog the United States. What do I mean by that? Well, in the US, we have all these lines strung everywhere that you see every time you're out in your car, right? That is legacy technology that has to be replaced. And it's very expensive to replace that mile for mile with the latest technology. For example, for Verizon to string their Fios lines that are now up to gigabit data speeds, that was hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Fortunately for Africa, it's been unfortunate for them that they were so behind technology, but now they can go straight to the future. So one example of that is AI managed local grids that we've talked about with solar and battery packs and AI managing the load in that local area. They're going to jump straight to that, never have to put up wires, nothing. It should be epic. The same is true for financial technologies. They're leapfrogging to present, and the same will be true for agriculture and manufacturing, which will be probably heavily robotics because the Chinese are putting a ton of money into Africa now, and frankly, China is far ahead of the US these days in robotics. Africa is a very, very cool place. There's huge opportunities there. It's beautiful. I've been fortunate enough to go to South Africa once, and it's spectacular. Are there social issues? Yes, there's social issues here in the US. Everywhere has that to differing degrees, but Africa is going to become a technology hub focusing on programming, a lot of it AI, and Africa is going to become a manufacturing hub and eventually also an agricultural hub, because as they go, I mentioned in one of my prior videos, maybe 10 or 15 episodes ago on my last farming one, something like 85% of people in Africa are still farmers, and that's because it's not mechanized. So one day there's going to be large farms like in the United States that are highly automated and producing huge amounts of food. And again, it'll all be AI-driven by AI-driven robotics, AI-driven analysis through crop management and pesticide application, all the stuff we've talked about. So with this just starting really in Africa and unlimited growth, in technology ahead. AI will be huge in Africa, and we're going to continue to follow this one because this is the tip of the iceberg. Expect Africa for the next 20 years to follow China's route for the last 20 years. That's what's about to happen. Thanks a lot. Take care. Again, job opportunities. Look for companies focused on Africa and the huge opportunities there to do any kind of work for. It doesn't even have to be programming. They're going to need people at these companies to do all kinds of things that may be programming or not programming, marketing, accounting, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, take care. See you next time. Bye.